some other place to meet.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here.
What? Lost your nerve?
Moors. Victuals aplenty around here.
Damn.
Kiki more eggs. Some stand to incinerate these to ash. There's something here. Need to use the eye. Interesting.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell? Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinarius never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires. There's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Kovinarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were culled to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cirilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now. Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well-founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Got a new life, new body. That give you a new start, blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity's a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detlef recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a Witcher?
That's what interests you most? Whether I'd like to be a Witcher again?
Many things interest me, but we've not much time left. Please answer.
Never chose to be a Witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that had earned me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the White will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the White to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Dressings, bandages.
What's that about?
The dressings, bandages. Where did I put them?
Forget it. Bandages won't do him any good.
What? Oh, but he breathed still a moment ago.
Breathed his last then. Bled to death. Legs broken. Femoral arteries ruptured. Wound like that, you're dead in minutes.
Gods.
What happened here exactly?
I was rolling through, fully loaded, when I heard screams. This one crawled towards the road, then drooped to the ground, lost consciousness. I jumped down to help him, dress his wounds. Then you appeared.
Pretty admirable stopping to help a stranger.
Truthfully, when I saw him, I considered it might be an ambush. The thought entered my mind, I near decided to crack the whip. But to abandon a man in need? It's simply not the decent thing to do.
Decent enough in many other places, believe me. Before you go on, clean your hands thoroughly and burn your shirt. Might also want to rub some thyme on your body to be sure. Smell of blood might attract ghouls otherwise.
Who might you be, precisely?
A witcher.
Oh. Do you expect some beast might have killed him?
See what we have here. Legs broken, but cause of death's the wound. Small but deep, edges unfrayed. Either a thrust weapon or a thick claw. Maybe a wyvern's. Tough to say, and... breastplate's unusual. Dented. And it's got a patina.
An antiquity, I believe. I deal in these things, so... what's puzzling is, why did he don it?
Not likely to learn that from him. Now to figure out where he came from. From that house, I'm assuming, but need to investigate. Got some work to do. So long.
Wait, I will come with you.
So be it. But stay close, keep it down, and don't touch a thing. Trail leads to the house on the hill.
Which stands silent as a grave.
Must have been here he broke his legs. Fell while climbing over the wall. Trying to leave the property, probably, after he didn't manage to open the gate. Gate's locked from the inside. Clearly been jostled, though. Something tried to get out.
The very thought said...
Damn it.
Good gods!
What the hell's this? Setting for a banquet?
It seems so. What's your suspicion? Did none survive? Gods!
Servant. Stabbed to death. Over a dozen blows with a sharp object. Some post-mortem.
I cannot believe this is the work of a man. It was a monster, to be sure.
Silver tableware. Elven engravings. Torso punctured with great force. Blow pierced hardened steel. Man on the high road. Breastplate was identical. Throats massacred. One mighty blow. Shield along sides old and dented. Sword ceremonial. And Shay handiwork clearly. Ceremonial bowls. For little sacrifices?
Of what? Please, do not say humans.
Burn marks. Something catch fire. Explode. Strong stench. Multiple wounds on the body. All puncture wounds, but hard to tell what caused them. Victim's human, but the attire's elven.
Are you certain? How did he come by it? We've so few non-humans in Tucson.
Fled, then dropped to the ground to douse the flames. Didn't manage. Burn smells growing fainter. Might have been another luckier soul managed to flee. Doublet scorched. Wriggled out of it, tossed it, then ran on.
Perhaps there's no one inside after...
I know you're in there. Breathing's loud and clear. Open up. We mean you no harm.
They remain there?
Listen, I'm a witcher. I'm here to help you. But if that's gonna happen, you gotta answer some questions first. You mentioned them. Who do you mean?
Those, I don't know what they were. Spirits? It all occurred of a sudden. We were staging a scene, the event of paying homage. There was a flash of light that blinded me completely. I heard cries, though saw nothing. Then felt my own robes were in flames. I broke and ran, threw off my doublet, leapt in here and shut and locked the door behind me. They pounded on the door. I thought they would get through. I thought I was done for, but in the end, it grew calm.
Who are you exactly?
Durant Faucher Plamondon de Safaran, Lord of these lands, and Chairman of the Society of Friends of the History of Tucson. We meet here annually to mark the anniversary of the Elfin Homage. But something like this, why, it's a first.
So while reenacting a scene from the past, somehow, unintentionally, you summoned a specter, a Korgorath, or a tube, maybe.
What? What now?
Best thing? You gotta do it again, of course.
Are you mad? Would you have this thing kill us?
No, don't want it to kill anyone. Precisely why I gotta do my job. Summon it again, whatever it is, and tend to it once and for all. Durand, think I can reenact the pledge, the giving of homage, alone?
It was a great, momentous event. The surrender of Tucson's last elfin king. You will need at least 3 individuals.
You know what I'm gonna ask for. Need your help. But I'll understand if you turn me down. No objections? Good. Let's get to work. Start by clearing the corpses. Got some time. Won't start the reenactment before nightfall. Things of this sort are a lot more likely to work after dusk. One last thing, though. My pay. Don't work for free, you know.
Understood. Just keep the danger at bay, and I shall be generous. Through and through. I will stand, or rather, sit in for King Ludovic upon the elfin throne, while you, Witcher, will play the Enshe ruler, who we must don the costumes. All must be just right.
Divethaf, the Elven King, hosted Ludovic in his own palace upon his own throne, amidst the blinding glow of a plethora of torches.
Don't interrupt.
Divethaf laid at Ludovic's feet a loaf of binnen and elfen bread, thus granting humans rule over seed-yielding lands. Divethaf filled the ornate ceremonial bowls with elven wine. Gwinoet, the sweetest blood of the land that had been torn from him. Long last, the Elfen King grasped his sword and shield, thus symbolically passing command of his armies to humans. Elven King, erect in his pride, drew his blade and dropped to his knees, thus acknowledging his final defeat. Ludovic then spake.
I accept your allegiance and shall return in 1 year's time to...
Ah! Look! Look! The statues!
Impossible! God's mother!
The sculptures, they came alive. By what witchcraft?
Dunno. Specialize in killing monsters. Reviving them, not so much.
I may know what happened. The statues, you see, once stood in the palace of one Divethaf. I acquired them a month past because perhaps I should start at the beginning. This Tevethef was to pay tribute to humans, producing statues of this sort each year. Yet he did so but once, for he perished in the massacre of non-humans at the foot of Mount Gorgon in the year 782. It's fortunate he did too, as Tevethef had planned Lutofek's downfall, for he sculpted not statues, but columns that masqueraded as such. Columns activated with words said in homage. Columns that would have turned the king and his bodyguards into so much colorful confetti.
Typical. Treachery embodied. Elves. Psheh.
You're no better. Elves were just defending their territory. You humans took it, but you still weren't sated. Had to cut the elves down, every last one.
You? What does that mean? You're a man as we are.
Yeah, in a way. Just ashamed to have to admit it sometimes.
Your words? They're wrong, Witcher. But I'll not let you leave empty-handed. Take this as your reward.
Farewell. Regis's raven wasn't lying. Spoons all over the place. Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm. A message. Trying to tell me something. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Poor girl. Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship. Must have graced a rich man's table. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe? No spoon you have shall sate you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Spare key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic. No claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him. Broken neck. Indentation in the skull's lateral surface. Smacked in the head with something heavy. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Table's set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. White that lives here. Definitely afflicted by a curse. And it's been trying desperately to lift it. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. Regis needs some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron. Not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it. You tried to bring folk here. Convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. We can't use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons. Open your eyes. You need to see your likeness. Think it worked. Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to find given its stench. Easy. Not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe. So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But, most importantly, it is now over. Please, don't worry. She will be in good hands here.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
Tasty. So wonderful. Thank you.
We'd march through
Hey,
hell and cross
Witcher!
swords with
How about
any
joining our band?
Well, look who's here. The Witcher with a stick up his ass. What's new? Got a growth on your platter there. You catch some kind of a theory pox?
Could say so. Manor's burning. You noticed?
That? All right. You know how it is. Feast drags on with plenty of dancing, merrymaking, rough play. We got a bit carried away, truth be told.
Plain to see. Where's Olgierd?
Damned if I know. Must be somewhere hereabouts.
No! Please! I beg you!
Shut your trap.
Let me go! Leave me be!
Shut it.
I ate with yous! Drank with yous! Fought beside yous! And you'd kill me now? I'm one of yous!
You might have been, but not no more you ain't.
What's he guilty of?
What the fuck's it to you? Not your concern, mate.
Whoa. Nerves a little raw? Why?
You deaf! Get the fuck out of here, freak!
All I want is to know what exactly is going on here.
Well, you're not gonna know. Sod off!
I'll leave soon as you tell me.
Aren't you a thorny prick up the arse? Ataman said to kill him!
Got your answer. Happy? Now piss off. We've work to do.
Wait. I know Olgierd wants him dead. Still don't know why, though.
Just what the fuck is it to you, anyhow?
Nothing really. Just curious.
Cocksucker violated our chivalric code. Just one penalty for that. Death.
What is this row? Are you not done with it? My ears wither from the screams. Ah, Geralt. As you've returned, might I assume you've cleared the sewers? Or have you not been there?
You killed my father!
Not I.
You lie! Whoreson!
That man killed him. Alone. Unbeknownst to me. Out of fury, for your father refused us hospitality. For this willful violation of the chivalric code, he was summarily executed himself. Anything else I might do for you? Take her away. Now, where were we?
Really necessary, that whole show?
Ah, show? Come now. A man must display some madness from time to time. Helps him feel alive. Dare say you know what I mean. Judging by the mark on your face.
Know what this is?
I cannot be certain, but I've my suspicions. That's a dangerous man you've chosen to deal with, Witcher.
You're immortal?
Depends on your understanding of the term. Indeed, I cannot be killed. But it's not at all what folk imagine. Not dying does not mean eternally living your life to the full.
So it's a curse?
A curse? No, wouldn't call it that. I'll put it this way. You must be careful what you wish for, lest your wish be granted. For there are consequences.
Not sure I follow.
You know very little can hurt you. So you take wild risks. Chase extreme sensations. There comes a point you've done it all, and all seems boring and monotonous. The trick's to plough through that moment. Go further. Reach beyond what's known as possible.
Killed the beast in the sewers.
Congratulations are in order then. Your reward. You're also welcome to take what you wish from the manor house. If anything's left uncharred, that is. Was it a tough fight?
I sliced its gut open, and it turned into a man. You know that would happen?
Of course he did. He'd never have dragged you into this elsewise.
Gaunter O'Dim. Come to cast aspersions?
No. I've come to collect a debt.
You know you first must
grant you 3 requests, by proxy. I present to you my champion, Geralt of Rivia.
That true? You know the Toad was a cursed prince?
He didn't just know. He brought about the curse himself. Did he not mention that bit? Well then, allow me to tell it. Quite the gripping story. Olgierd once loved a beautiful maiden named Iris. Yet, her parents chose to offer her hand to the Crown Prince of Ophir. Olgierd grew to hate the poor sot. At first, he wished to kill him, then decided this would be too simple. So, instead, he condemned the prince to a base life in a toad's bloated corpus. Yet he grew bored of watching him suffer and decided to end it. By your hand.
Remind me, O'Dim. Who was to fulfill my last 3 requests?
My assistant, Geralt.
Then be gone. I don't wish to look at your face any longer than I must. Come,
Where to?
the stables. My men are preparing to depart.
This thing between you and Master Mirror. Your quarrel. Really rather not get involved.
You already are, I fear. He did something for you. Now you've a debt to repay. Am I right?
Yes.
Well, then you'll not free yourself of him till you've paid it back. But never worry. I shall devise tasks so impossible you will never complete them. Not if you go mad trying. But try your best, and your debt shall be absolved, while I shall live in peace until Master Mirror finds another aide-de-camp.
What he said about the prince. That true? You turn him into a toad?
Perhaps. Or perhaps the Aetheri Dauphin ate something that disagreed with him. You never know with their cuisine.
Never heard of food that turns men into monsters.
Then perhaps it was something he drank. I cast the curse. Revenge for a deep disappointment. I was another man then. Let rage get the better of me and hollered the words without ever thinking they could possibly come true.
Could have told me the truth about the toad. Having a bit of fun at my expense.
I simply wanted the beast dead. I could not know you would respond to the notice. Pure coincidence. Yeah, I must admit, when you, a witcher, answered the call, I thought it right. It's what you lot are trained to do.
Might have been able to lift the curse.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Then again, why bother?
He was a human being.
That bloody Aetheri mutt was no human. His kind does not deserve to live.
Guess I gotta pop the question directly. What do I need to do for you?
Let me think. We're currently without a roof over our heads. Perhaps we should start with that. Bring me the house of Maximilian Borsodi.
His house?
So surprised. But why? I must live somewhere, mustn't I? What's the meaning of this? Second leave of your senses? You mean to mount a filthy horse? Out of my sight, wretch! Know what Vladimir would do to you if he saw?
Aye. Vladimir.
My brother. There were times he himself stank like foot wrappings 3 days old, but his mount always looked fit for a parade. Oh, none rivaled Vladimir at feasting, carousing. Sadly, he's been celebrating less of late. You must find him, and show him the time of his life. My second request.
Fine, seems easy enough. And the third?
Complete those two. Then, we shall speak of the third.
Any hints? Where I should go? How I might start?
You must be mad. I've no intention to make things easier for you.
Once I'm done with those two, where will I find you?
I cannot know, as my band has planned some diversions. But let us say at the Alchemy Inn, in Oxenfurt.
Fine. See you there. The brother shouldn't be too hard. But the house? How am I supposed to bring him a house?
Actually, the opposite. I wouldn't worry about the house. The brother will be the tough bit.
You waited for me. Nice of you.
I could hardly abandon my proxy to the whims of fate.
Thought I have to fulfill Olgierd's wishes myself.
So states the contract. Yet, nowhere does it forbid me from providing help. And something tells me you'll need quite a bit to complete the first two tasks.
Borsodi's house. No idea how I'm supposed to bring him that.
The only Borsodi I know of around here runs an auction house in Oxenfurt.
Heard of it. My swords almost got auctioned off there once. Auction was held in Novigrad, though it was a while past.
They must have relocated. You just might get an opportunity to ask them why.
Fine, I'll go there. Then what?
How should I know? Perhaps you'll get inspired once you're there. Oh, and take plenty of coin. I have a feeling it could come in handy.
Olgierd's brother. Why do you think he'll be tough?
I'm afraid he's dead. Has been for years.
Never agreed to necromancy.
Necromancy is hardly your only option for reviving a soul. An old-fashioned ritual, a blood summoning. That's what you need.
That's like choosing between pestilence and the plague. Besides, I'd need the blood of the summoned.
Blood. True. Of the summoned, not necessarily. Here.
Where do you get this?
Geralt, aren't you the curious one? Assume it to be von Everett blood and get on with it.
Where'll I find this Vladimir?
Geralt, I cannot do everything for you. Use your head. The von Evericks are well known in these parts. You must have met someone who's heard of the family. The charming redhead, for instance. The medic. You know the one.
Guess it's high time I got to work.
A bit more enthusiasm, Witcher. You know, you just might enjoy yourself.
Yay. Can't wait. Say I need help. Where'll I find you?
I shall find you. Good luck, Geralt.
What a down!
Greetings again. So, you got a job for me, an interesting one.
Show me what you have in stock. So long.
Redania. I want. Taking a peek at my wares here. Everyone to me! To me!
Rolling on an empty stomach. Oh, dreadful.
Reginald Aubrey has returned, not to be missed. Buy your tickets now.
Oh, the Witcher! The one the Duchessa summoned.
This is Folk. Greetings.
What do you... Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
Nice tune.
Tony messing everything up. Quite the fragrant whiff. Crawl back under your rock.
Private Kleiner, I
This the Brasodi Brothers auction house?
Seems it.
Private Kleiner, you're on duty. Need I remind you? Fraternizing with civilians is not allowed. Purpose of your visit?
Just curious. Redanian army regulars, right?
Lance Corporal Václav reporting. And this bloke's my subordinate, Private Kleiner.
Careful you don't piss yourself out of excitement.
You say something, soldier?
Not a thing.
Shouldn't you be somewhere? There's a war on, you know.
We was transferred here. All official. Written order 76 CWX. Mission, guard the auction house. Priority, high. Top, in fact.
Borsodi fella knows his way about the court. Helps the high rankings sell their war booty. Gets protection in return.
Private Kleiner, that's confidential military information.
Any of the owners home?
Meaning the one and sole owner, the esteemed host Besodi? Aye, he is.
Need to talk to him.
Order 76 CWX is clear. Auctions only open to folk with invitations. Writ out in their names, plain and simple.
Gonna let that hold you back? Come on.
I'm afraid you're out of luck. Order 76 CWX, also held that Lance Corporal Václav stick a broomstick up his arse.
Kleiner, need I remind you of the penalty for insulting a superior?
Who have we here? Geralt, the Witcher of Rivia.
Vimy Vivaldi, the banker from... Actually, where are you from?
Matters little, mate. Gold knows no boundaries. What's all the fash, Corporal Václav? Are you squabbling with my pal Geralt?
Master Vivaldi, sir, your esteemed associate, he weren't invited to the auction, and
But I plough and have been, and he's coming with me. In you go, Geralt.
But my orders...
Fuck your orders! Need I take this up with the sergeant? Ha! I thought not. Now, stand to attention and shut your giggy.
Oh, the lads will be rolling back at the barracks.
Shut it! Now march! Round you go! 1, 2, 1, 2!
Appreciate the help.
'Twas nowt. I've always had a mind to see into old pals and clients.
Business with you's a pure pleasure, Vimy.
The dear departed wifey claimed the same. Ah! Folk are assembling.
Auction's about to start. Time we went upstairs.
What did folk come to bid on? Any idea?
All kinds of valuables. Rare weaponry, exotica. But I've got my eye on a selection of canvases by the master portraitists of the Maribor School. Van de Neuve and Longendijk.
Well, well. Never knew you to be a connoisseur.
Of course I'm not. It's all muck and rubbish to me. Point of fact, I'll just wrap 'em in paper and lock 'em in the vault.
Why in the world do...
What do you mean, why, Geralt? I've got to diversify my investments, didn't I?
Could have sworn the Borsodi's auction house was in Novigrad.
It was, but they moved it. You see, Radovid offered Horst a preferential tax rate. 0%.
Huh. Pretty much unbeatable.
Aye. And I've nae seen a purer example of the benevolent state.
Actually, I'm really just here to talk to Horst Borsodi.
Oh, might be more of a problem than you'd expect.
Because?
An awful hermit, that one. Not a wee bit like his da, my little keep his soul. But Horst would like to show his heed during the auction. I'll introduce you then.
Be mighty indebted to you.
Think nothing of it. Only if I collect on loans and promissory notes. All right, up we go.
Egg, white gold, and mother of pearl with topaz incense.
A giant's. Or maybe a Jotun's.
Impressive harkies. With amethyst.
Zeracanian spears. Excellent adornments for any parlor wall. From the collection of the mage Aramis. Codex Redaniensis, sole surviving copy.
Yes?
Beautiful, but first blow would shatter them. This one probably also belonged to Sorceress. Fetish, maybe?
Apogee egg, white gold, and mother of pearl with topaz incense.
Geralt, you thought of buying real estate. Could get you attractive terms on a mortgage.
No such thing as attractive loan terms, Vimy.
Auction won't start for a time yet, it seems.
Vimy, this is a banquet.
Aye? And?
I detest banquets. Vacuous conversation, food portions fit for a mouse, drinks that taste like piss.
Ah, it won't all be bad. Let me introduce you to some of my most interesting associates. Old hen there is Countess Mignol. Wager you'll have plenty to blather about with her. Prick in the corner's Hilbert. New coin, that one. Came into a right fortune playing Gwent. Ah, there's Yaramir, art dealer. A purer snob I've never known. But he knows paintings like no other. So, ready to chat someone up? It's not fitting for us to stand here like knobs. Oh, smell it, girl. Greetings to the Honourable Countess. Madam, allow me to introduce my dear friend, Geralt of Rivia.
Witcher of the School of the Wolf.
Forgive me, but have we had the pleasure?
No, but your guild is unmistakable. Your medallion.
Take note, Geralt. Countess Mignol is an eminent collector of Viriminaica.
What now?
All manner of objects related to the witcherly profession. Swords, gear, medallions.
Mind if I ask how the Countess became interested in us, humble monster slayers?
I've some pleasant associations. Dating from my oh-so-distant youth.
Didn't you say such things, Countess? You look right fetching to me.
That's very kind, Master Vivaldi. But apart from my Veda Maniaca, I also own a number of mirrors.
Your most prized piece, what would it be?
An armor element. An antique. School of the Wolf. From 1234.
Classic. Is it up for sale?
I fear not. It's a memento. One of great sentimental value.
But perhaps the Countess has got other Witcher curios she's willing to part with. Or acquire. Perhaps he could trade.
I'd charge 5%, a modest transaction fee.
Vimy, never seen anyone so good at laying their mitts on coin that clinked within earshot. But what the hell? See if we can't make a deal. Does the Countess have her eye on anything particular today?
No, but Horse Borsodi insisted he would put up something that would be of interest.
Did he happen to say what it was?
No. Oh, you know what he's like. A walking enigma. On another topic. Master Geralt, I was wondering if you'd be willing to help a lady in need.
Depends on the nature of the need.
Oh, it's quite the trifle. I stepped out onto the balcony a moment ago. I dropped an earring while there. I couldn't find it. It must have fallen through the floorboards. Perhaps you, with your cat eyes...
Not a problem. I'll go right away.
I shall be much obliged.
See you in a minute, Vimy.
I believe I'll bid on that Gorbet landscape.
A landscape? You detest them.
Ever true, but it's got a lovely frame.
Some spilled wine. Nothing else. There's no earring out here, is there?
None.
Maybe the Countess would care to explain what this is about, all jokes aside.
Forgive me. God, this is so embarrassing. Do you know Vesemir? He was a tinge shorter than you, wore a mustache.
Do I know him? Man taught me everything I know.
What? How is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Don't mind at all. But before I answer, I also wouldn't mind knowing how you knew each other.
Oh, I've told no one. Not ever. But I suppose I owe you an explanation. It was the winter of 1234. A beast prowled the streets of Oxenford. A Fleder, I believe. A contract was issued, a notice posted, and a witcher appeared. Vesemir. Of the School of the Wolf. He came through our estate, tracking the beast. Our eyes met. Something sparked. I wrote him a message, asked my governess to deliver it. He visited, under the cover of night, night after night. On one such occasion, my father heard something. Vesemir had to flee. So quickly, he left behind his gambeson.
The first piece. The start of your collection.
Yes, but also the end of our love. Father had an arrest warrant issued, then quickly married me off. I was fortunate. My husband died young, leaving me a sizable fortune. And thus, I have lived on memories.
Afraid I have bad news.
Oh? Please tell me, did he at least die like a witcher?
No. He died like a hero.
There is that. I thank you for tolerating a decrepit madwoman so elegantly.
Please don't say that.
I am old and I am wealthy. I may say what I please. And now, be so kind and leave me to my thoughts.
That's Gerard of Winby.
Funny!
I've heard many
Duke
tales.
Clivet declared bankruptcy with that ring on his finger. Shite! Hell Albert! It's been years. Allow me to introduce yous. Geralt of Rivia.
Enchanted.
Pleasure's all mine.
How's it? Got your eye on any sparkly bits today?
Not really. I buy what strikes me fancy. I need something right sumptuous for me walls just now. Nilfgaard. I get it right?
Excuse me?
Your Gwent deck. It's Nilfgaard, innit? Come on, admit it.
Not a bad deck, Nilfgaard, but I'll take the Northern Realms over it any day.
Ah, understood. A patriot.
You ought to know, Hilbert. Geralt here's a positively superb player. Superb.
We got a minute before the auction starts, so... Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Maybe around?
Suppose it's not whether you win or lose. Sure, I'm game.
Brilliant. I'll lay my cards out.
Naturally. Geralt, might you have a wee word?
What is it?
Well, mate, seeing as I brought yous together, I do believe I'm owed a share of your winnings, if there are any. 10%. A finder's fee of sorts, you can.
Pretty clear now why you wanted us to meet.
One cardinal bit I've learnt in my trade, friend. Coin dinna stink. So, what'll it be?
Well, you did help with the guards at the door. All right. 10% of any winnings is yours.
Any chance for 15?
Don't push it, Vimy. All right. Game on.
Unbelievable. I don't buy it. You cheated. You must have. Something. Hexed me or whatnot.
Oh, I'd be careful with the gab, Hilbert. Afore Geralt takes a mind to demanding satisfaction.
You give it to him, you damn midget. You bearded pinch-fist.
Oh, interest will be a right bit higher when that bugger next comes round asking for a loan.
Vivaldi, perusing the room.
Yaramir, might we trouble ye a wee spell?
Mm-hmm. Greetings, Vivaldi. Who's this?
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
Thought you might have a blether with us. About the paintings on the block today.
Ah, sniffing for a quick turnaround as usual, are we?
Pot calling the kettle black, I'd say. Do a lively trade in canvases yourself, my friend. True.
Yet first they delight my eyes, whereas you treat them as mere promissory notes. The only arts that interest you are those culinary. What about you, Witcher? Do you know anything about paintings?
Realize this might be hard to believe, given my crude-looking mug. But yeah, I know a thing or two.
Truly? We ought to see what. Do you know our friend Vivaldi is in possession of 5 canvases by Van der Nobe? Yet he cannot distinguish them from landscapes at 5 crowns apiece.
I shan't pretend it's otherwise.
Yet for you, my dear connoisseur Witcher, that should present not the slightest problem, so do tell which of these is the handiwork of Edward van der Nobe, the master from Maribor.
The still life?
Of course not. That's a Longendeek. The palette, the brushwork. Obvious from a mile away. Adieu!
What a jackass.
Ah, fuck him. Typical aristocrat. I've grown accustomed.
Esteemed ladies, honorable gentlemen, the auction will begin shortly. Take your places, please.
Ah, at long last. Come with me to the fore. I won't see much elsewise.
Vimy, listen. Forgot to ask you, how's this auction going to work?
They'll bring out 3 lots to start with. Once they've sold, or not, there'll be an intermission. Horst Bosodi will probably appear then. That's when I'll introduce yous.
Counting on it.
In the meantime, have you got a budget? You prepared to bid?
Of course I will. Went to the trouble to sneak me in here. I'd be an ass not to take a stab.
Ha! Knew the bug'd get you.
Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hereby open the auction. Ladies and gentlemen, lot number 1 is a brass figurine from the collection of the infamous Count Romilly. Rumor has it the figure harbors a treasure inside. A rumor one may prove or disprove solely by destroying the beautiful bauble itself. Starting price? Quite the bargain at 50 crowns. Any advance? With Master Hilbert at 100. To Countess Mignol, now at 150. Do I hear 200? Might I have an advance? The white-haired gentleman enters a bid of 200. Do we have 250? 200 once? Twice? Thrice? Splendid Countess Mignol bids 250. Do I hear 300? My, this is lively. I've 300 going once, going twice. Do we have 350? 300 thrice, and sold to the white-haired fellow. Lot number 1, the mysterious brass figurine. Proceeding now to lot number 2. A canvas by the young Novigrad artist Van Rohe, Starry Night over the Pontar. Charming piece. Truly a bargain at 20 crowns. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 crowns, it's practically naught. Yes, the gentleman with the cat eyes, at 20. Do I hear 30? 20 going once, going twice, going thrice. Sold! Van Rohe's Starry Night over the Pontar to the gentleman with the cat eyes. Lot number 3, ladies and gentlemen. A true rarity, scarce as hen's teeth. Spectacles. A frame of gold, mountain crystal lenses polished by the tiny, dexterous hands of the gnome masters. Once the property of the famed hired assassin known as the Professor. Starting price of 200 crowns. Anyone tempted? Gwent Maestro Hilbert offers an advance of 50. Do I have 3? My, haven't we livened up? 300 from Yaromir Ivanovich Zaitsev. Going once? Twice? Incredible! With the white-haired gentleman now, good folk, at 350 crowns. A generous offer indeed. Any advance? 350 going once? Going twice? Sold! Invaluable spectacles to the white-haired gentleman. Exceedingly glad they'll be useful. May they serve you well, sir. Oh, the excitement. With the 3 lots behind us, we'll go to an intermission. Amenities abound. Please partake. We'll resume shortly.
Oh, Geralt, look! Horst Basudi! Come on, before some other cocksuckers steal him. Just, well, don't expect a warm welcome. Greetings, Horst. Allow me to introduce a dear friend and associate, Geralt of Rivia, who
comes uninvited.
But you've gained by my presence. Dropped a hefty pile of crowns here.
I'm not like Vivaldi. Profit alone only goes so far for me. I seek more. The auction house is primarily a meeting place for the local elite. I needn't tell you, an itinerant mutant doesn't quite fit in.
got the distinct impression the two of yous started off on the wrong foot. Perhaps we should raise a toast to...
What's one like you want from one like me?
Right. Let's dispense with the niceties. Maximilian Borsodi's house. Gotta lay my hands on it, whatever it...
What? Where did you learn of it?
Gentlemen, no reason to lose our composure. Raise our voices.
I ask you, where did you learn of it?
Whoa, come on now.
Where?
From Olgierd von Everec. Name mean anything to you?
It does. Guards, escort the Witcher out. And he's not to enter, not alone, not hand in hand with Hierarch Hamilfart.
Honestly, he asked a question. It were a simple inquiry.
One more word, and I shall move my accounts to the competition.
Sorry, mate, but...
No reason to trouble the guards, Horst. I'll go willingly.
I don't recall giving you a choice in the matter. Kick his swiving mutated ass out.
Your swords, master. Law says we're to return them. Law don't say when, though. So we'll do it, aye. Just after we beat the singing shite out of the honorable gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Gathering place for the elite, truly. Come on, lads. Let's loosen our muscles a bit.
Right. Left. Outside your nugget. Your mom smells of gooseberries!
Law says if you see someone hurt, you should summon a medic. Law doesn't say how fast, though, so you can sit tight a while.
Seems true what they say. Sword or no sword, a witcher brings gold.
Not in the mood for your peasant wisdom. Who the hell are you?
If all goes well, dare say I'm your partner.
Don't need any partners.
Oh, I don't know about that. No chance you'll lay your hands on Max Bosodi's house alone.
How do you know I was looking for the house?
I was at the auction. Disguised, of course. That argument on the topic was hard to miss.
Get to the point, if you can.
To get this house, you need to get into the vault. And there's no way Horst will let you in there out of the kindness of his heart.
A heist? Don't like that idea one bit.
Got any others? Find the herbalist lives near Oxenfurt. Ask for some yarrow extract. He'll know why you've come.
If this is a trap of some sort.
Be seeing you, I hope.
Fancy, eh?
Just...
What's this one want?
A good bruising, look like. At in, brothers.
Busy spot. Lots to do.
That was rather efficient.
That all you got to say? I saved your life.
We'd have disposed of that rabble easily.
We?
Aye, I'll be precise. You know what I mean. Now, are you here to trade or not,
Wouldn't happen to have some yarrow extract.
I do. In the back. Follow me, please.
You've come. Good.
Remains to be seen. Aim to tell me something, I think. So talk.
How do I put this? We share a goal. We both need to get into the Borsodi's vault. Both want something that's in there. Why not pool our strengths?
Sorry, but what exactly is yours?
I have a plan. Spent the last year working on it. On paper. Time to set it in motion. You one I can count on.
Come on. I don't even know your name.
What's that matter?
Matters because you're clearly hiding something. Not just from me, either. Wouldn't be sitting in a cellar in this shithole otherwise.
We've all some stain on our conscience. But I've not asked for your hand in marriage, just for your help in a heist. We break it. Each take what we need, then go our own ways.
Try to trick me anyway, anyhow, you won't go anywhere. You know that? Because I'll take your head off right where it meets your neck.
I'm aware of the risks. So, now that you've threatened me and all, are you in? Or are you not?
Before we go any further, you even know what Max Bersodi's house is?
I know it's in the vault.
Didn't answer my question.
Neither of you. Willing to help with the heist, or not?
The vault. What's in there for you?
Something that was stolen from me.
Ought I go to the City Watch, tell them a crime's been committed, not organize a heist?
I've tried. Repeatedly.
I see. Cheated by the system, wronged by the world. Doesn't matter. What did they take?
List to take a good while. So I'd rather change the subject. You in or not?
I'm not a thief.
It's opportunity makes the thief, Witcher. I speak from experience.
Talk.
20 Redanian soldiers guard the auction house, day and night. Patrols walk in circles around it, and here, past this corner, barracks.
Brute force is out. Gotta get in quietly.
Exactly. Not the simplest thing, though. Main entrance, armored door. Windows, dimeridian bars. But not a fortress out there without a weakness. This one's no different.
Patience happens to be my weakness, so dispense with the dramatic pauses and talk.
Beside the house stands a tower, from which we can enter the attic. We can't hope to enter the tower from the street on account of the patrols, but there's a window 60 feet off the ground. No shutters, no bars. We've got to get up there and sneak across to the auction house, then down the stairs to the cellar, crack open or blow off the vault door, and voila!
Not all bad, except sounds like a lot of work for two.
I'm fully aware of that. For this to work, we need 2 more accomplices. One to scale the tower, drop us a line. The other to open the vault, a safe cracker or a demolition specialist. I've already identified some promising candidates. All we've to do is select and recruit the best among them. Also your job. I'd prefer to remain largely out of sight.
Assumed as much given your hood. Anything else?
Aye, but that's among the details, which you will learn just as soon as you declare.
Don't really have any other options. So be it, I'm in. But on one condition. No one dies. That clear?
As the great son of Nilfgaard. How about we knock back around? Toast a mutually beneficial relationship.
Rather get to work. What comes first?
First, you have to assemble a crew. Then, there's the Redanian patrols to cull a bit. Too many wandering round. We could get noticed.
Break-in artists. Tell me about them. Assuming lack of vertigo to be the first requirement.
Precisely why my favorite Eveline Gallo. A circus artist known better as the Ermine. Just now performing with her troupe somewhere near Oxenfurt. Her specialities? Rhythmic gymnastics. Tight walking.
Breaking and entering.
Not officially, no, but I've compared the route her troupe's taken with a list of the most audacious thefts in recent years. Perfect match. Highly doubt that's a coincidence. But if she's reluctant, we've another option in Hugo Hoff, alias Beef Patty, a halfling.
Think he's fit? Pudgy face. Doesn't really match my image of a criminal.
You'd be surprised. Hugo's notched up more break-ins than you felled monsters. More importantly, 2 years past, he nicked a gold-plated cot from the roof of the town hall in Novigrad. So, the half-man. Word has it he's holed up in Oxenfurt in a house near the Novigrad gate. Be careful. He's modest in size, but apparently wicked dangerous.
All right, opening the vault. Who do we have?
Let's start with the fact that one of them's a dwarf. Casimir Bassi, native of Mahakam, a specialist in controlled explosions. Folks say he could blow Novigrad to the high heavens with but a pinch of saltpeter. Vault door for him should be a cinch.
The problem is, Casimir apparently hung up his detonators some time ago. He married, sired some littler ones, and settled in the village of Almas. Might plain turn us down.
Any options?
Quinto, the North's most famed safecracker. Arrest warrants out on him in Kedwin, Lyria, Angrin, and Kavir. Sadly, he got nabbed a few days back by one Hans of Sidaris, a prick mercenary.
I know the man. Slew an archgriffin for him. Mean fiend, pretty much.
Hans or the beast?
Both, actually. So I'd have to rip one from his cozy home, the other from a cozy cage. Need to think about it. What's this about culling the patrols? Told you, no one dies.
Easy. I don't want anyone's death. Just need some folk to be temporarily indisposed.
Spit it out.
You've got to approach the garrison's cook. Convince him to spite the soldiers' nosh with something to keep some of them bedridden. 1 in 2, let's say. To raise suspicions.
Know the formula for a potion that might do the trick.
There. See? Brew up a bit of that. Hit the town, find the cook, then convince him to do you a favour. I don't know, cast a spell, toss him some coin. You could also use your fists.
All right, I'm off. Got a bit to do.
As do I. Get it all done, and we'll meet back here.
What then?
Then, we'll bugger Horst up, down and sideways, all together.
Monsters are your catnip. It is mine.
I do not know how I will ever repay you, Witcher.
Don't expect to be paid. Hope you're feeling better, that's all.
Oh, yes, I feel my strength returning thanks chiefly to Barnabas Basil's care.
Horrible ordeal you endured. Glad I cut it short.
Yes, years of suffering. Do you know what was worse than the hunger? Watching my loved ones, my children grow old and die. All my family's long gone now. The last of my kin perished decades past. I fear I've nowhere to go.
This is a big house, big estate. You can stay here.
Truly? I could never infringe so on your hospitality. Yet,
Yeah.
after all I've suffered, the years of starvation, I've but one dream. At last to prepare food that fortifies, nourishes, to delight in the tastes and smells of spices, to sit at one table with others and eat.
Don't see a problem if that's your dream. You could help Barnabas Basil in the kitchen. Eating his meals. You know he's not a culinary virtuoso.
Nothing could make me happier. Thank you.
No, thank you. House could use a woman's touch.
I've one other thing I'd like to tell you. Many years ago, my father assembled valuables for my dowry. I never wed, so they remained unclaimed. These baubles are no use to me now, but to you, well, perhaps let them be a token of my gratitude. If you wish to find them, you must go to my old home, to Trastamara. The dowry lies hidden in a barrel in the cellar. There are several barrels. You must give each a knock until you find the right one.
Do just that. Thanks. I'd never expect someone with your past to feel drawn to the kitchen.
Do you fear I will cook in your home as I brewed as a white?
Counting on you having slightly better taste as a human.
Of that, you can be sure. I loved cooking, even as a child. My gran was a true master in the kitchen. Her spit-roasted ox was famed throughout the land.
Thought you were a lady, owned an estate.
Do you mean to say a woman of my rank should have had a cook? You're right, of course. And I had the best of cooks. But I devised the dishes myself. They only prepared them.
You sure you don't feel lonely out here?
I cannot say yet. Too little time has passed since you freed me of my thrall, but somehow, for now at least, I do not feel drawn to the city, to others.
Visited others' homes as a white.
Yes, but ever at night, when all were asleep, I went in search of spoons.
Remember, you can always change your mind. Decide you've lived here long enough, just say the word.
I'd never wish to seem ungrateful.
And I'd never want you to stay against your will. See you later.
Take care, Witcher. And remember, you always have warm food awaiting your return.
I work from dawn to dusk's last light, then give my wife
a Up shoop dum darere up shoop.
Stock send the whip await those running riot.
Geralt, his crest the bridge, master of the melee. Welcome, welcome.
What have you got there? So long.
Hammer, Enfin, Banity. Music to a smithy's ears.